So what makes the Beethoven Violin Concerto so difficult? I mean, it's kind of universally agreed upon as the ultimate S-tier concerto that makes even soloists take a deep breath before they play it, and even made the great composer Brahms feel inferior. I mean, look, yeah, it's a difficult piece to pull off, but maybe not for the reasons you might expect. Technically, it's not that difficult, but actually that makes it even more difficult because you can't hide behind the usual virtuosity or theatrics. And I gotta admit, I don't play this concerto as much as I do with Mendelssohn or Sibelius or Tchaikovsky. So in today's video, we're gonna go through 4 great performances of the Beethoven Violin Concerto and see what we can learn from them. All right, let's begin. First of all, we have what I consider the golden standard of Beethoven. This is by the violinist Henryk Szeryng. Yeah, I think in this particular interpretation, he's definitely more stoic. It's more serious in nature, but he has a very beautiful tone. Henryk Szeryng was kind of known to be someone who had a lot of actual stage fright. He would have to drink before he went on stage, and drink a lot. They said that by the time he was, it was during, I think, the intermission of a recital, like half the bottle of whiskey was gone, just so that he could function on stage. This guy here has just downed half a bottle of whiskey, and he's like now playing this is crazy to me. Let's skip forward. He is just such a golden tone, when he plays. I remember listening to his recordings growing up, and I always tried to emulate his golden tone. I'll try to do it right now. His tone was different. It has that piercing quality, that shine, but then it still has this juiciness to it. In one small passage, you can already hear the differences over this 40-minute concerto. It's just exponential. All right, so we're gonna just skip forward a little bit. Just the end of the first movement. Ooh, do you hear that sound? He's so calm, and yet within that calmness, there is something there. This is one of the most beautiful moments in the entire concerto. You know what? I want to listen to a little bit of the second movement. Wow. Do you hear how clear his sound is? He's definitely not nervous right here. Let me see if I can do this. And then he goes on the A string here just to get a different color. Instead of the bright, kind of clear E string sound, he goes. Right? It's just to get a little bit more resistance that you get on the A string as you try to struggle. When you struggle through it just a little bit, but then you win through that struggle, that's just a human emotion that everyone can relate with, and everyone wants you to win. That's just the ultimate tension and release in music. Wow, his clarity is just astounding. This is being recorded on older equipment. This is golden. It's just magical that he has. Let's go onwards to the next person. Oh, this one is one of my favorite, Itzhak Perlman. Let's see what you got. I just want to call out here that with Perlman, the way that he plays the intro is completely different from Szeryng, right? I don't know, he's got the beauty and some sort of character that he knows, if you know kind of vibe. Which I love because it allows the beginning to then grow to this like top G, to this note here. I want to continue listening. Wow. Whenever I see Perlman, it's just always like so funny because the violin looks so tiny in his hands. His hands are so big. He's able to make this delicate, beautiful sound. He also does this highly risky shift in the first 3 notes of the first theme. Which, like, I would never do that. I always do the... That's kind of what most soloists will do, but not Perlman. I mean, he is not most soloists right here. I want to listen to a little bit of the second movement. Oh wow, he does the same high A string shift as well. Interesting. He's walking more on eggshells than Szeryng, you know? When Henryk Szeryng played the second movement, it was just so there. It was just like, I am here and I'm confident. You know, he played into that phrase, whereas Perlman's more like, okay, I've got to be really careful here. I personally prefer Henryk Szeryng's approach in that second movement opening. I think there's something so open, so approachable to that as well. Let's listen to a little bit of the third movement. Interesting. He's not as bouncy as the other interpretation that we heard from Henryk Szeryng. He's also using more of the lower half of the bow. I would have expected, I don't know, just from the way he played the opening, to have a bit more of a... like have a bit more of like that boisterous sound in him. But I love the ease in which he plays. You just enjoy that so much. I want to skip to the end of the third movement because the end of the third movement has a bit more heaviness and it gives a chance like for the soloist to really dig deep. So I want to see Perlman do that. This part is really hard. It might not seem like he's doing much, he's just like playing détaché, but in order to get that clarity, you have to always start every single note with the same kind of impulse. So that when it goes fast, it's even clearer. I would have to actually practice that to be able to do on that level of clarity. Wow. What? Did you see that? He just like, he did this crazy thing on the G string. That is such a flex. I mean, usually the notes are supposed to be like, but instead of this, he goes, he just decides to go onto the G string just for funsies. Wait, let's just see this again. Yeah. I mean, you obviously see that he's having so much fun. That's what music should really be about. And I think that is possible, right? Where you can be in an environment where everyone's friendly, everyone's rooting for you, they want you to succeed. And actually, that's what we do on Tonic. Tonic is this music practice app where it turns your ordinary, lonely, solitary practice into something that's a shared experience. So you have musicians from all over the world can come together, they can practice, they can meet each other, and basically just share music. So that by the time you're on stage, it already feels like an extension of your practice room. Plus, you can also join cool community events and win free prizes, all that kind of fun stuff that makes music so enjoyable. So if this sounds interesting and fun to you, definitely go check it out. It's free. You can scan it, this QR code on my screen, or download it from the link in my description below. All right, so next up we have a performance by Clara Jumi-Kang. All right, let's see. So you can tell that from the beginning, their phrasing goes much more forward than I think either Itzhak's or Henryk Szeryng's. But there's also like this serious as well, like kind of ness to her sound that she's really putting on. I'm curious to hear when it gets to the main theme what that sounds like. It's a difficult thing for me to think about when I think about, okay, should the performance be about putting Beethoven on a pedestal and making it about that? Or should the performance be more about the music? Contrasting back to Perlman's rendition, he was just like, I'll do what I want because I'm Itzhak Perlman, right? And here with Clara, who's like, I've got to make sure every note is as it should be. You've got this like sound that is, it's a little more tense, right? You can tell that a lot of the effort is being placed in that. I want to listen to the second movement. Yeah, but the second movement is really beautiful. The way she played it has a lot of soul. I think she actually played it better than Perlman, if I may say so. Clara's here, she's got so much beauty in the vibrato, I think. That's like where it's all coming from. She's also got this separation between the notes that she's doing. It kind of gives you this like breathlessness in the music that happens. All right, for our last performer, we have none other than Hilary Hahn. Oh, I can't wait for this one. Because we were just talking about how Beethoven doesn't require that much technique, but yet again, it's one of the most difficult pieces. So I'm curious, it's like, what does a Ferrari sound like when it's driven like under the speed limit, right? But then it's like, it's all about that control. So I'm curious to hear about that. Wow, that's a beautiful phrase. You can tell in her sound, she's not like trying to please. You know, she's just got this amazing quality. I mean, that's really suits this particular piece. She's not putting it on a pedestal. She's not like, oh, I'm gonna like try to like protect this. Beethoven doesn't need protection. Beethoven just needs you to focus and play the right notes and the right emotions. All right, so let's go to a slower section. Remember what I said about the Ferrari driving under the speed limit? This is gonna be that. Let's listen to this. You know, when Hilary plays these like more intimate, softer moments, it's like the same shape. She doesn't change this shape. Most other I've seen performers, what they do is like it becomes a different color and it becomes like a different character. But instead, Hilary just, you know, it's kind of the same vibe. She's just That's her style of playing, which actually pulls you in a lot. It gives you this almost an uncomfortable feeling. Like it shouldn't be so soft. When she's playing soft, it literally becomes like a vacuum. The missing part becomes like a void, a vacuum of space. It's not cold, it's not hot, it's just not nothing. She then just works on this small bit, and then it just expands again. That's pretty cool. That's like the best analogy I've come up with so far for Hilary's playing. Let me go to the second movement. Yep, you hear it again here. Wait, she's trilling on a fourth finger instead of, which is what most, artists do. She's going, and then she's trilling with the fourth. If you have a really strong pinky, you can definitely do that. Oh. Nice. She's the first musician that we've seen today that actually has this thicker, more boisterous kind of feeling. It needs to be that. There we go. It provides the contrast that we need right there between these two voices. Ah, there you go. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you for giving me that. That completes my day. Well, I'm gonna go practice. I was so inspired by these performances. Hopefully you were too. And if you wanna see other performances where I go in depth and analyze for the Bruch, for the Mendelssohn, other concertos as well, definitely go check out these videos. Or drop me a line in the comments below if there are other performers or performances that you'd like me to check out. And I'll see you in the next video or in your practice room on Tonic. Thanks for watching. Bye.